Hey, lighten up, jerk!
Yeah, so how's work been going, man?
Yeah.
Getting more used to it. I know that in the
Ye-
beginning it was really rough on you, but
Yeah, the first couple months,
where do you work again? It's just
Oh, so for those of you who haven't been watching the live streams, I am now for about a year almost. I've been working at the post office, at a local post office in the San Fernando Valley, and for those of you that don't know, that it's a lot of work. Um, I'm not one of the letter carriers. The guys you see out in the trucks and delivering mail to your mailboxes.
Fancy shorts.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I'm not one of those guys. I work inside the post office, and I'm the one that gets everything together for the letter carriers to go out. I'm the one that sells postage for packages and whatnot up at the front window. That's kind of like that's what my job is. I'm a postal clerk, and that's a lot of long hours, either super early in the morning to kind of late at night sometimes. And the first couple months I was doing it, I was like, man, I see why people quit. Like I wanted to quit within the first couple of months, because even like I was working harder than I did even in the Navy. So
Wow.
and it's rough on your body too. So, and I was a little bit out of shape at that point, so I was like, man, I'm gonna die. But thankfully, the office I work at, the people I work with are really fun and nice and very encouraging. So it's like, all right, well, at least the environment's fun, even though like the work is really hard. So I was like, I'm gonna keep at it, and I needed the money too, so that's always a motivating factor. So I kept at it, and once my body got used to everything, and I got back into shape, which is I don't need to go to the gym anymore because I worked my ass off at work. I lost a ton of weight. But so I ended up overcoming a lot of the struggles that I was having, and I really like the job a lot now. It's kind of rewarding being able, when I'm working up at the window, it's very rewarding to, the majority of our customers are very nice, and being able to help them, like when they don't necessarily like, oh, I didn't know this about like why we had to send out a certain package this way, and it's like, oh, thank you for helping me out. I would have never known how to do this, and so it's kind of rewarding in a sense. It's like it's kind of carrying the that Christian server mentality over into like my workplace too, and like I said, 99% of our customers are really great, and then there's always the horror stories of people where it's like, man, I if I wasn't here, I would have punched this guy in the face. It's like
What would you
test
say?
of patience.
Yeah, but what would you say that since you started working there, what was your worst customer experience?
Oh man, there's two that I can think of right off the bat that like it really kind of rattled me a lot. Whereas like I kind of not like lost my cool there in front of the customer, but like I had to walk away for a second just because I was really upset. First time it was like my first week up at the window, so I was still kind of like really like learning everything, and it was on a Saturday, so it was like one of our Saturday we're not open as much or for open as long, and this older lady who I'll back up a little bit. So what'll happen is we'll have customers come up, and they'll come, hey, I have this question, like how am I supposed to send this out, or because they'll have questions. It's like, oh, well, here's what you want to do for this type of package, or we'll give them an estimate and see what they want to do. And once they get that all figured out, it's like, okay, well, here's all the things you need. Here's the forms you need to fill out if it's like an international package or whatever. And it's like, just go ahead and over like one of the empty desks. Go ahead and fill out your paperwork. You don't have to wait in line again. Just come back, wait when you're done, and you'll be next in line. You don't have to wait in line again. Well, this one older lady, like, yeah, old as dirt, and
Old as dirt.
she ended up like where she was standing, it was like no one could see her. I couldn't see her because I'm way over, I'm on like the far end, and I'm not focused on her. I'm focused on like the people I'm working with, and I just like, oh, I'll when I was done, I was, oh, I'll take whoever's next. This guy kind of runs up because he probably didn't see her either, and she was like, and this lady starts yelling. It's like, well, I was next, and like she starts shaking her cane up in the air. It's like, well,
She's shaking her cane.
yeah, I'm dead serious. She was shaking her cane at me, and I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, man. I didn't see you." And one of the other clerks, they were able to take her, right then too, because they finished. It was like, well, and I was like, "Well, do you want me to like, take you instead, or you want to go over there because they're open?" It's like, and she from that moment on until like till she left the building, she's yelling at me the entire time. It's like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, it's not like you didn't get served, and it's like I didn't see you. You can't hide in the corner and expect us to see you. Like I said, I apologize to you, but do you want me to slip my wrist too? Like, what do you want me to do? And it's like, well, I want to talk to your supervisor. All right, I'll get the supervisor for you. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I apologize to you, but yeah, it's like it's my first week here. It's like we're up there, and it's like, oh God. I was like, that was like kind of a pain in the ass. And then even like the customers like came in afterwards, like, dude, it's like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. It's like, yeah, it's like
Part of the job, right? Customer
Yeah.
service
Right.
sucks.
no. But then there was this other older guy that came up, and a lot of times what happens, you'll get these people who, they lie to you. I mean, customers lie to us all the time.
Of course.
And it's like, well, when they don't like they don't know what's going on. They ask you the questions, but then they don't like the answer. It's like, well, that's not how it was done the last time I came to do it. It's like, well, I'm sorry that happened because that's not supposed to happen. And this guy is trying to send out like a letter to like Chile, but then and there when it comes to like international packages, there's so many different things that have to happen. And so I'm giving him his options. Like, okay, do you need to have it sent there? We can do it where it's just a couple of weeks, and it's just kind of the regular cheap rate. And it's like, well, I want to make sure I'm able to track it. It's like, oh, okay, so there's that changes your options here. You can do it this way, which is gonna add on and like an additional $20, or you can send it this other way, which is gonna make it like another like it's gonna be like $100.
Wow.
And he's like, well, no, I just want it done this way. It's like, I've done it this way before. It's like, well, that's not gonna work. And he just from the get go, like he's like, and he kind of like end up throwing everything at me. He's like, well, I'm just gonna give me the cheapest way, and I'm gonna get out of here. And it's just it's like when you throw stuff at my face like that, I was done. I was like, yeah, whatever. So I didn't say thank you. I didn't say like bye or anything. It's like it's just.
I give you props for staying, dude. I don't know if I could put up with that.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, I work with patients and it could be frustrating also. I work with
Yeah.
older people too. But I don't know, man. It's different, I guess.
I was like, in my mind, I was like, well, it's not the fucking Wild West like it was in 1972 with your Jethro Tull shirt that he was wearing with your ponytail. It's like, what do you... maybe that happened like the last time you went to the post office in 1980, but that's not how it works now.
Yeah, I've had difficult clients, where they think that Photoshop is like this magic wand that that could fix anything or make them look 10 pounds lighter or whatever, and just like
just star wipe away my fat.
yeah, exactly. It's just like you can get rid of the you can get rid of the cellulite. It's like
Oh, wow.
yeah, or it's like. They, it could, or, sometimes I've even had people like come to me and ask to re-Photoshop some things, like, cause, they're not happy with the image. And so they ask me, it's like, oh, can you fix this image? And I was like, okay, I'll try. And then, it's like, oh yeah, try, get rid of this, get rid of that. They basically want me to get rid of the background and then like, put in like, them in like, Fiji or something to that effect. And it's just like, it's not, I'm not a wizard. I mean, I know there's people who throw out like the moniker of Photoshop wizard or whatever, but it's like, it's not magic,
Right.
It's, it can only, the program can only do so much.
There's limits.
There's limits, and maybe I wasn't, maybe I'm not, that, versed in Photoshop, I completely what is it? Accept that. But sometimes people just they ask for too much.
Right, right. No, well, oh, I still one of the funniest, crazy customer moments. Like it wasn't directed at me, thankfully, but it was. So I was able to watch from like the background. So I was, it was a good laugh for me. So this one customer, he like in certain things where there's certain like letters or packages that require signatures, and if that person is not home or they choose not to answer the door or whatever, they'll leave like a notice left slip, this like little pink slip.
Right.
I'm pretty sure many of you have gotten those at some point. And so that's for the customer. They'll come to the post office and pick that up, or what they can do is they can sign the back of it, put it on their door, and they'll redeliver it and just leave it. And so this guy came into the post office, and it wasn't. It was a like one of those like certified letters. It's like something you need to sign for, but he wasn't the recipient of that letter, so we can't give it to him. And so it's like all you have to do, and apparently we've told this particular guy, he's like, several times that all you have to do is have the recipient who is infirmed. He couldn't, get out of it. He was like handicapped or there was some sort of infirmity. It's like all you have to do is have him sign this line, and he wasn't like dead or in a coma or something like that. It wasn't anything that serious. And it's like all you have to do is have him sign this line here. That's all, and then we can give you the letter. And he's like, well, I'm not gonna go all the way back and do that. I'm not gonna. Well, then we can't give you that letter because as far as we know, is like you're not, sure you may be this person who you say you are, but we don't know that, and we're not gonna get arrested, giving you a letter that's not yours. And so he threw like, a fit. He was not happy, and so he's yelling at one of our supervisors. And apparently, after he left, he ordered $100 worth of Domino's pizza and sent it in care of that supervisor's name.
Really?
And it's like
they came to the office.
Yeah, and we're like, who ordered? Because at first it was like, oh, did somebody like? I was like, oh, cool, somebody ordered pizza for us. Like, I don't have to go to lunch.
You guys a favor, man.
I know.
And it's like, and I thought it was like something special. I was like, oh, I didn't know there was a special occasion going on today. No, but it turned out it was like. Did anyone order $100 worth of pizza here? It's like, no. But that guy was dumb. It's like, that didn't hurt us. That hurt, like, Domino's.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
they're out
$100.
Yeah.
like, worth the, plus all the delivery fees and all that stuff. Like, that's
stupid.
And it's like, that's what happens when you get so mad. Like, you get into this narrow focus. You don't think, you end up, hurting so many more people in that, like, anger and stuff. So... Oh man, it a lot. Honestly, like a lot of it, like at the time, it's very like frustrating. But it's kind of one of those things that it brings us, as the postal clerks, it kind of all brings us together because we've all had those moments, and so we kind of rally around one another and kind of we laugh about it. So.
It's like being in war,
Exactly.
You go through some shit together with some people, and then builds tighter bonds.
Yeah, that's how you bond.
So and actually, well, I'll have some of my coworkers come on the podcast and stuff like that. They're really hilarious. But yeah, no, it's so that's I've grown to really like the job. I don't like working the windows so much. That can get kind of exhausting, but but the rest of the job I really like.
Well, that's good that you hung in there, man. That's tough, but like.
Not many people can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember they one of the orientations when I first got hired. I think within that year they had hired like 800 some people, and only 200 remained through the year.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, and when I went through, it was like, oh, I see why many people drop out because some people they can't hack it. It's just that work ethic for like what it takes for that job. It's like some people just don't have that, and it's not like I wouldn't call it like, oh, it's weakness or whatever, but some people it's just like, you know what, this isn't for me.
I'm probably one of them for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to put up with that for that long, but props to you, man.